sometimes it feels like the weight of the WNBA is on her shoulders. That is both, like I said earlier, a compliment and warranted in a lot of ways, but also maybe a little bit unfair to put so much on her. And then to not play up to her abilities in this early part would be frustrating.
Sue Bird defends Caitlin Clark amid unfair criticism. It's easy to feel like the weight of the WNBA is on Caitlin Clark's shoulders. While that's a sign of just how much potential people see in her, it's also a bit unfair to expect her to carry the league from day one. Early struggles are a natural part of a rookie's journey.
With a disrespectful tone, talking about how good the opponents are that she's faced over the first two games, Sue. Like, you know, this is a professional sports league that's been around 28 years. There are some really great professionals playing in it. I'm wondering how you take that part of the conversation here.
That's definitely been the conversation. You know, there's been a couple of moments that have led to the narrative around, you know, Caitlin's greatness and it translating, and
challenges overshadow her incredible abilities. Sue Bird, a legendary WNBA star, has spoken out against the intense and often hostile criticism Caitlin Clark has been receiving. Her comments have stirred a lot.
I never thought Caitlin wasn't strong. That was actually something I noticed in college. Like, she had a strength about her. Will she get stronger, and will that help her? Yeah. I think it was more just getting used to the hits and the physicality and like what refs are going to call, what they're not going to call. And you've seen her adjust in that way too. Like,
responding to some high-profile figures who haven't been as kind to Clark as they should be. Bird didn't hold back when addressing the disrespectful tones used by others in discussing Clark's early games. You're talking about a professional sports league that's been around for 28 years. There are some of the best players in the world playing here, Bird pointed out, emphasizing that Clark's challenges aren't because she isn't talented, far from it. It's more about adjusting to the physicality and intensity of professional basketball, which is different from anything she's faced before. Bird also praised Clark for her impressive resilience, especially when facing aggressive defensive strategies. Some teams have used full-court pressure to disrupt Clark's game, but instead of crumbling under the pressure, she's used those challenges to fuel her growth. It's clear that Clark has the strength and mental toughness to rise above these obstacles. One standout moment that Bird recalled was when Clark took a brutal hit and was blocked hard by opponent Ei Maggar, slamming to the floor. Instead of letting that moment get the best of her, Clark got back up immediately and kept playing, showing her remarkable resilience and determination. Bird couldn't have been more pleased with how Clark handled that tough situation. Bird's support.
She's definitely getting used to it, which is, you know, trouble for everybody else. That's why I don't want to see her. I don't want to see Phoenix.
Her talent. She's been vocal about the unjust criticism Clark has faced, bringing the issue up even on Jimmy Fallon's show to discuss the larger picture. It's not just about one bad game or one tough loss. It's about appreciating Clark's overall talent and the incredible contributions she's already making to the sport. Caitlin Clark's journey to the top of the WNBA is just beginning.
About Seattle, and all of a sudden, we're pretty close. This has been as close as it's been all second quarter long, 44.
And support from legends like Sue Bird, there's no doubt she's only going to get better from here. Caitlin Clark's mental resilience and Sue Bird's defense of her. Caitlin Clark's ability to turn difficult situations into opportunities for growth is remarkable. Instead of letting adversity impact her mental game, she's used those moments to strengthen her resolve, something Sue Bird has praised deeply. Bird's defense of Clark goes beyond simply acknowledging her talent. It's a pointed criticism of how the media tends to focus on players' mistakes.
She got blocked pretty bad by Ezzy, took a little bit of a splat. And like, yeah, I'm sure she was a little pissed, but she kind of got up, took the lick, and got back.
Yeah.
You know, whereas earlier in the season, I think it would have impacted her a little bit more. So
just get used to it.
Rather than celebrating a player's potential and achievements, some commentators exaggerate minor missteps, creating unnecessary drama. Bird, however, has made it clear that Clark is handling these challenges with grace, using each one to improve her game. There was one particular play where Clark got blocked hard, taking a tough fall. It was frustrating, but instead of letting it get to her.
But that's what makes
On the flip side,
what she's doing so amazing. This
Yeah.
is, yeah. Go
no,
ahead.
I mean, on the flip side, I would just be like, for people, or real people who are on the internet and commenting on things, like, just take a beat and realize that you're talking to real people who have real feelings and emotions. Like, you don't have to be so hateful. This is a sport. Like, relax a little bit.
Moving forward, something that shows the growth of her mental toughness. Earlier in the season, this might have affected her more. Now, she's able to move on quickly and focus on what's next. Bird, alongside her colleague Megan Rapinoe, has been vocal about how the media treats athletes, especially female athletes. They've pointed out that while the media loves to create controversies and scandals, they often ignore the real accomplishments of players. This is something that frustrates them.
Full things in there about you personally, and that's just unacceptable. Like, we're playing sports. This is just a game, and we need to be kinder to each other. So I love Angel for this.
Focus on the bigger picture, the talent, the skills, and the dedication these athletes bring to their craft. Bird and Rapinoe both urge viewers and commentators to be kinder, especially when discussing athletes on social media. Instead of turning every game into a sensationalized event, let's appreciate these players for the incredible skills they bring to the table. What's even more fascinating is how the media and public figures like Jimmy Fallon are responding to Clark's rise. Fallon, a huge fan of Clark, has applauded her record-breaking performances and how they're attracting millions of viewers. Bird also highlighted how Clark's deep three-point shots are changing the way people view women's basketball. It's no longer just about traditional expectations like dunking. It's about a new era of play that defies gravity and expectations. Sue Bird's perspective on
Clark, have you been watching? I mean, that is obviously. It must be cool to watch someone like her just start dominating. You're like, oh yeah, because everyone watched. I think last week that she broke the record, and it was like 4 million people watched that. It's just exciting.
Yeah, those are the numbers.
It's huge.
Yeah, she's obviously doing amazing. Her game speaks for itself.
Transition to the WNBA is grounded in both compassion and insight. While Clark has faced some struggles, every rookie does, Bird emphasized that these challenges are just part of the game. There are going to be tough stretches, bad shots, and even losses, but how you respond.
She's feeling that right now, but that's part of adjusting to the WNBA, right? Maybe not having it happen this early, but part of professional sports is you're going to have some stretches that don't go your way. You're going to shoot bad, your team's going to lose, and how do you respond to that? So I'm sure she would like those 2 games back. Everybody's clearly got their defensive game plan.
What defines you? Clark is learning how to navigate those tough moments, and that resilience is what will make her even greater in the future. The hype and scrutiny surrounding Caitlin Clark's WNBA journey. Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA with unprecedented expectations. Few players, if any, have faced as much pressure as she does now. The spotlight is intense, and the scrutiny from fans and the media is relentless. WNBA legend Sue Bird has spoken out about the challenges Clark is facing, acknowledging both her incredible talent and the overwhelming criticism she's received. Bird's concerns highlight the fine line between celebrating a promising young athlete and unfairly burdening them with expectations before they've had a chance to prove themselves at the professional level. Clark's first games have been tough. She's faced 2 of the league's best defensive teams, making it difficult for her to find her rhythm. While some of her struggles are natural rookie adjustments, the narrative surrounding her has made every play and every performance feel magnified.